Hi there, welcome to another Yoga Mo-Flo workout. My name's Heather, I'm the creator of Yoga Mo-Flo, and I will be leading us through this workout today. Just to let you know that this is more of an intermediate routine, probably not the best routine for beginners. It is about 35 to 40 minutes in length, and we are going to be focusing a lot more on mobility drills in this one, so if this is your first time to Yoga Mo-Flo, you might want to choose a different video. Otherwise, we're just going to get started, and we're going to get started here in Hero's Pose. So go ahead and come down to your mat, take a seat, and I'm glad you're here. Let's go ahead and just close down the eyes for just a minute, centering ourselves, and just do a scan. Notice your energy today. My energy is actually feeling a little off and sluggish. This is, an interesting environment that we're in right now in terms of just the level of chaos. It is September 2021, and so might feel a little unsettled. Let's see if we can shift that energy. So just as a little added challenge, maybe see if you can keep breathing in and out through the nose during this entire practice. That's probably going to be hard because we are going to get our heart rate up. But just try. It's fun to try things. Okay, from here, we're just going to do some side reaches. So to one side, we're just taking our time. And the other, we're going slow. Stretching out. Should feel good. Let's do one more each direction. Also, I didn't introduce Hanny Ruro. He's joining us today. Okay, let's take our arms out, and we're going to start with some arm circles, just getting our shoulders warmed up. We're doing small ones forward. You go ahead and make them a little larger, like a medium size circle. And then let's make them big. Let's do some big arm circles. Just getting everything warm. Let's reverse. And doing some toning. You don't ever really need to lift weights to tone. Your body weight is enough of a weight for you. Lifting weights is a good way to get injured, in my opinion. Go to medium. Keep going, you're doing great. And then make them a little smaller. Do some small reverse circles. Very good. From here, let's just twist our arms, getting a full rotation. You're feeling it now. hands, which is really important to do, and that's what it looks like. And then we come back down the same way we got up, and then I put my hands down to switch to the other side. We're going to do that 3 times each side. You can go at your own pace. Here's 3. 4. Twice more, 1 to each side. 1, and on this one, you're going to stay up and make your way to the top of your mat. Kind of an awkward little transition there, but that's okay. From here, we're in our mountain pose. Let's take our arms to the sky. Go ahead and grab your left wrist with your right hand and lean over to the right. Just a stretch there. And then switch. To the left. From here, let's cactus the arms and open the chest, and then reach back up to the sky. Go ahead and release your hands down, and then turn to face your mat horizontally here. What we're going to do is some step overs. So imagine that there's something high right here, and you're going to step over it. And we're going to do for 10. 1, 2, 3, here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to step under something, like you're kind of going under, like I always envision a fence. Something that I'm stepping under. We're doing this for 10. Here's 5, 6. I used to do this a lot when I was a kid, going under fences. My dad had kind of a ranch in Texas, and so I was always crawling around under fences and stuff as a kid. Okay, and now step back to the front of the mat. From here, let's take our arms up. Kiss, and forward fold. Let's just hold here for a second. You can kind of pedal out the knees, bending one and then straightening the other, and go back and forth. Just loosening up those hamstrings. And then from here, let's go ahead and take our left leg back into our runner's lunge. Just rock it out for a minute. And then from here, we're going to do an easy twist. So clamp the left palm, take your right arm to the sky, open the chest, and then take that right arm forward. Take the left hand out a little bit to the left side of the mat, your right foot to the right side of the mat, and we're going to do 4 kick throughs. So stepping through, kind of touching the big toe, and back. 3 more times. There's 2. Last one. Stay here. Go ahead and walk your right foot back. Plant the left knee down, and sit back on your butt, for lack of a better word. From here, we're just going to fold forward and just stretch out through that hamstring. Just go to wherever's comfortable for you. If this isn't comfortable to have your knee bent like that, then you can be up on it doing a half split. It's just up to you. So from here, we're going to do something a little different. It's called a tripod get up. So I'm going to take my left leg and kind of scoot myself to the center of my mat. weight on my right leg, and from here, I lift up and kick out, rotate, and stand. 3 more times, just on this side. So kick out, and up, twice more. Last one. Stay up and go to the top of the mat. We're going to do all that on the other side. So let's take our hands to the sky and forward fold. We can pedal out here again, bending one knee and then the other, just releasing, catching our breath if we need to. And then let's take that right leg back. Here we are in a runner's lunge. Go ahead and rock it out. There's no need to ever stay still unless maybe if you're always moving, then you might want to find stillness. But if you're still a lot, it's kind of nice to move more. All right, let's go ahead and plant the right hand and lift the left to the sky, looking up, opening up through the chest. Then we're going to do this kick throughs again. So I'm going to reach my left arm forward, take my right palm out, scooch my left foot over, more to the left side of the mat, and then kick it on through. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Come back. Go ahead and walk your right foot back to the center of your mat. Drop your left knee and straighten out. From here, we're going to do that forward fold again. So coming down, grab and hold wherever you can. Whatever's comfortable, just so you feel that stretch in the left hamstring. Very good. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves around. We're going to do those tripod get-ups again. And this time I'm facing with my back to you. I apologize, but we're going to do our tripod get-ups on the other side and coming up. 3 more times. Last one here. Staying standing and coming to the top of our mat. From here, let's take our arms up, palms kiss, come through center, forward fold. From here, we're going to take it back to plank. We're going to do an upper body move, so we're going to slowly lower to the ground, take our arms out in front, sweep them behind, back up to front, hands under shoulders, push back up to plank. We're going to do that 7 more times, so come on down. And up. Trying to come up is like a board. Try not to let your gut hang down. Just being in one long line. This is a nice exercise for your back too, strengthening that. This is 5. We've got 3 more. Up. Last one. Stay down. Go ahead and make a little shelf for your forehead. And rest. You can bend your knees. And just go ahead and windshield over the knees here. Just letting something go in your low back. And then from here, let's kind of steeple our fingers in line with our shoulders. We're going to push up into a cobra with our fingers at this modification. Lift up and then release. Once more. Up and release. Last one, but stay up here. Hold this. Dip the right shoulder. Getting a stretch there through your right shoulder. And then to the left. Release. Plant your hands under your shoulders and then push yourself back into a child's pose. I'm going to keep my arms active because we're still well in the middle of the workout. I don't want to get too relaxed just yet. And then from here, come up into your hero's pose. From here, we're going to do an ankle stretch. And so I'm going to lift my knees up and really stretch out the front of the ankles. And we do that 5 more times. So here's 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Very good. From here, we're coming up on our knees. And then I'm going to tuck my toes under like this. And I'm going to sit back into a Yogi Squat. So kind of roll through and come back like this. We're going to do that 6 times, coming from our knees, rolling back into my Yogi Squat. This really focuses on ankle mobility, which is a great thing to have. It really helps us as we get older not to fall, to have really good balance if we have control of our ankles. Last one. Very good. Now bringing our knees down, coming into a toe squat, the back of our mat. So you can stay here if you have a hard time balancing. If you want to try to balance, come up on your toes here. Maybe take one hand to the heart, maybe 2. Hold. Just a little challenge. And then we're going to walk forward and back 3 times like this. So, this is another mobility drill, and it really lets you know if you have flexibility in your ankles. It's kind of like a duck walking. And it's kind of fun. It also lets you know what it's like in your hips, what kind of mobility you've got there. So if it's easy, you've got a lot of mobility. If it's hard, you have less. And so these are really great movements to do. They're very primal movements, kind of an animal-like movement, which I think is pretty fun. All right, very good. From here, we're done with those. Come into your tabletop for just a second, and then into our puppy pose. So let's take our arms. So in our puppy pose, again, just keep your arms active, so not letting your elbows touch the mat, resting on your forehead if that's accessible to you, and just stretching out the upper back. Should feel good. Go ahead and drop the elbows. Push ourselves forward, and we're coming into a forearm plank. We are going to hold here about a minute, so get comfortable with it. So just some pointers here. Have your elbows underneath your shoulders. Try not to have them splayed out. And also just think about having your belly button up to your spine, so not letting your belly hang down, but trying to like maybe dome a little bit through the shoulders. And that way everything is just nice and tight, and we're just holding. If you start shaking, that's good. That means your muscles are working. And so planks are a really wonderful way to tone the entire core. I'm not a huge fan of doing crunches and things like that because that only just focuses on a really small muscle group. But when you do things like planks, you're also working your entire core, which is 360 degrees around your core. So it includes your back, your chest, all of it working together, and that's a much more natural way to work it. Let's go ahead and come onto our right arm into a side plank here, and we're going to do 4 thread throughs. So taking that left hand underneath, you can even look behind to challenge your balance, and then back to the sky. Let's do 3 more of this. And I really encourage you to move slow, maybe like you're moving through honey or molasses, because when you move slower, you're actually challenging your body more. If you just go through them super fast, it's not as much of a challenge. Let's switch to the other side. Take the right arm up, and again, 4 of those little thread throughs. Just being really mindful of your movement. Being in the present, right here, right now. Last one. Right arm back to the sky. Back into our plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping the knees wide, back into your child's pose. From here, go ahead and take some deep breaths. You can inhale through the nose and then an audible sigh out through the mouth. You can do that again, breathing in through the nose, sighing out through the mouth. Make some noise. Let's do it once more. Breathing in, sighing it out. That's a nice way to kind of release some of the stress that built up in our bodies while doing those exercises. All right, from here, let's go ahead and find our way into our down dog. So go ahead and tuck the toes under and lift up the hips. You might want to paddle out here for just a minute. Since we haven't been in this shape yet today, you can see if you can plant your heels, but if they don't touch, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything. Let's go ahead and take our left foot to the center and raise our right leg to the sky in our 3-legged dog. And then go ahead and bring it between the hands, planting it here, rising up into our crescent lunge. So here we are, taking a second just to make sure everything is stable. We feel good. Remembering to draw in those lower ribs, not let them splay out. And from here, we're going to do 3 cactus arms, opening up the heart, maybe even lifting our gaze, arms, hands back to the sky, and then twice more. Just a little balance challenge from here. Once more. Very good. From here, let's take our hands to our hips and go ahead and step the back foot in at a 45-degree angle. We're going to do our pyramid pose here. So centering the hips, lengthening up through the spine. Go ahead and fold forward. Take the hands down if that's accessible to you. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can flex the front foot. And just hold. Go ahead and drop the right foot down. Take the left foot back. Now you're in a runner's lunge, but not for long, because we're going to walk the right foot over to the left part of our mat, coming down into a pigeon pose. And so from here, I know a lot of times we see yogis with their shins squared to the top of the mat. That doesn't work for my body. It may work for yours. Everybody is different. I kind of like to have mine bent a little bit more and my other leg more to my right leg here, in this case towards the right knee pointed to the corner of the mat. Go ahead and stay up here if you like, or if it feels good for you, you can come down onto your elbows. You can even make a shelf here to rest your head. But if you want to join me, I'm going to do a twist. So I'm going to move my left elbow a little bit more forward, thread my right hand, arm under, and just rest my right ear on the mat and hold. Getting a nice stretch to that right hip. If this is not comfortable underneath, you can always lay on your back and do a figure 4 stretch. You're targeting the same muscle groups. If you're in a twist, start to release yourself, placing the palms down, coming back to a downward facing dog. So here you might want to just pedal out again. You might want to release your muscle in your right hip. You can even kind of take your feet to the right, pass through center, feet to the left, just getting a nice little stretch there. And go ahead and take your right foot to the center of the mat, lift the left leg high, and then go ahead and step on through, getting everything exactly how you like it in terms of your alignment, and rising up to the sky in your crescent lunge. Just hold here, being mindful of your knees, thinking about your lower ribs. And then from here, we're going to do those cactus arms for 3 again. So opening the chest, looking up to the sky, and reaching the hands back up twice more. Last one. Open the chest and release. Go ahead and take the hands to the hips, bringing your back foot in, about a foot, angling that back foot at a 45-degree angle, centering the hips, and fold forward into your pyramid pose. You can just stay right here. If you want a little bit extra, go ahead and flex the front foot. Not flex. And just hold. Very good. Let's go ahead and drop the foot down, coming into our runner's lunge for just a second while we walk that left foot over towards the right side of our mat, finding our pigeon on the opposite side. So once again, getting yourself set up. You might notice that one side's easier than the other. This is actually my easier side, so that's nice. You can stay up here, or you can come on down to wherever's comfortable for you. If you're interested in doing that twist again, taking the right elbow a little bit forward, threading the left arm under, coming onto the left ear, and just holding. Go ahead and start to release, walking your hands in, coming up, and finding your down dog. Once again, do whatever feels good. I'm going to pedal out for just a minute, and then I'm going to drop it on down to my knees. From here, I'm coming up, and we're going to find our Camel Pose. We're going to do this twice. So the first time, I just want you to take your hands to your lower back, having your fingers facing upward, really being mindful and drawing those elbows together, pushing the hips forward and looking up to the sky, opening the heart. Just pause here for a minute. Release, come back down into a hero's pose, hang out here for just a second, and we're going to do it again. If you liked that shape, you can do that again. I'm going to go into full camel this time, so if you want to join me, come on up to your knees, and then we can all start in that same shape, walking our hands back, opening up our chest. And if you'd like to go into full camel, we go ahead and take your right hand down to your heel, and then your left, really pushing your hips forward,
Just hold here, breathing through it. Don't hold your breath. If it feels good on your neck, you can drop your head. I don't really care for that so much, so I leave it up. And then go ahead and come on out of that. Here, you can sit back in your heroes if you like, but we're gonna do a little bit deeper stretch, so I'm gonna keep my feet wide and kind of nestle my hips down in between my feet, so my feet are flat on the floor. If this is enough for you and this is enough for your knees, you can stay right here. Otherwise, if you want a little bit deeper stretch into your quads and your knees, you can come on back to your elbows, kind of tucking your hips underneath you. You can stay here, or if you want to take it into the full expression of the posture, you can lower yourself all the way down. You can cactus your arms here, or even clasp them above your head, whatever feels good for you. Just hold. We're not here forever, just for a few seconds. This, don't just come out of it willy-nilly, but I go and grab my heels, lift myself up onto my elbows, and then prop myself back up. From here, let's go into a tabletop and just release our feet by petting them. A little tapping there, getting the blood going back into our feet. And then I'm going to swing my feet out to one side and take a seat. So taking our legs out long, we're just going to do a seated twist on either side. So taking the right foot and planting it outside the left knee. Placing your right hand behind us, left arm to the sky. You can either pull in like so, or if you want to hook your elbow, go ahead and do that. Gazing out over the right shoulder. As you inhale, think about lengthening through the spine. And as you exhale, see if you can just twist a little bit further. Go ahead and release. We're going to do that exact same thing on the other side. So planting that right foot outside the left knee, left hand behind us, right arm to the sky, and twist. Gazing out over the left shoulder, lengthening, and seeing if we can deepen our twist as we exhale. Feel that both sides are even. Go ahead and release. Taking our legs out long, we're going to do a forward fold. So go ahead and reach your hands to the sky and fold forward, grabbing on to whatever is available to you. However deep you feel you can go, don't push it. You never want to overstretch, that's not safe. But just go to your edge and just hold. Go ahead and release. Make your way onto your back. We're going to come into our happy baby, so you can draw your knees to your chest. If you want to rock side to side for just a minute and release that lower back. So for happy baby, I'm going to grab the outsides of my feet. You can grab your ankles. Just thinking about keeping your tailbone on the ground. If when you grab the outside of your feet, it lifts up, then go ahead and grab your ankles. And then you can just rock side to side here for a second. Really pulling those knees toward your shoulders, getting a nice stretch. And go ahead and release. Take your legs out long, finding our final resting pose. rest, maybe even snuggling those shoulders underneath you, opening up the heart a little bit more. And relax. We're only here for a minute or two. I encourage you not to skip it. Go ahead and let your breathing return to its normal pattern. And rest. Go ahead and start waking the body up, maybe wiggling the fingers and toes. Turn the head from side to side, stretching through the neck. And then go ahead and roll to one side, pausing for just a minute. Pushing yourself up into a seat. Finding your seat. And then just shut down the eyes for just a second. And just do a scan. And notice how you feel now versus when you first got on your mat. Notice if you feel any energetic shifts. Just being mindful. And go ahead and bring your palms to your heart. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank yourself for putting in the hard work and for devoting and carving out a little bit of time for yourself today. Bowing the head. Namaste. Please let me know if you enjoyed that, if you liked having additional mobility drills thrown in, if you like more mobility drills, less mobility drills. I'm interested in what you think. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you liked it, please subscribe so you don't miss another workout. And I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon.